Hello again. Thanks for stopping by on the long and winding road. Yes, hello world, hello few handful of people who watch my videos. It is here today that I will give yet another update on the things happening with the channel, with certain things that I'm working on, different projects. The comic. First off, I'll get to the comic. I mean, if you are at all listening to or aware of the comics scene right now, it seems that the best way to go is, of course, through independent publishing, as well as I will here admit that I think I had the wrong approach. Going in on my comics in general, the idea of publishing issue by issue right now in the current market, it seems, at least for me, to be impossible. And largely, for me personally, it's trying to find an affordable way to establish a copyright from issue to issue. At least so far, the people I've talked with professionally about, the whole idea of copyrighting my comic. The first guy I talked with wanted 500 retainer plus 500 an hour, and just the comprehension of that, of doing that from issue to issue. I'm not paying that much for a 32 page comic. It's not going to happen. So I'm going to change my approach, and I'm going to do what most of the relevant names, big relevant, however want it, Doug Tenable, he suggests that the way he does things, he does it by, he gives you a huge book, and he makes it as fancy as possible. He makes a brilliant product out of his artwork, and that seems to work best. That's eventually what I'm going to work up to, and that's what I'm going to do with my comic, henceforth. I am still working on it. I do have the first issue completed. It's complete. I did it with traditional ink, and through various means of what technology I have at my disposal, I have colored all 32 pages. It's a complete issue, and it's ready to go. But doggone it, if I if I had a money tree growing somewhere, we would be doing this issue by issue, and we'd be continuing down that rabbit hole. But that's not how things are playing out. I'm not sure how unfortunate that even is anymore. Oh boy, I would just love to be able to have that confidence to just post this up and just go with what happens. I mean, there's ways I could tweak it to maybe do like a web comic sort of deal, and I could go on one of those things. But I don't know. I'm not sure about that route specifically with this comic. So this comic will be the way I produce it. It will eventually just be big honking book by big honking book, and that's how I'm gonna do that. It's just the way it's gonna be. Music wise, I haven't posted any new cover songs. I haven't written any new songs in a long time. Again, I'm not holding a gun to my head to get this stuff done. And like I've mentioned in a prior video, it's the idea of going pro, and the prospect of going broke and helpless in the pursuit of that in my current financial situation, it just doesn't, it's not a risk that I see worth taking. I'll still be making content though, and expect to see something eventually. But I think I've been very observant of my current situation. I've been reflecting on certain things, watching some inspirational and advice videos on YouTube, and I'm at the point where I'm going to further consider options, what I can do with my life besides collecting disability and sitting on my rear end and doing nothing but gardening and writing juicy comments on Babylon Bee articles here and there. Other than that, life is good. Life is good. I mean, even though right now I got some weird nasal congestion thing going on, it's somewhere in between. I know I'm not feverish. I don't have a fever. I don't have the Delta variant. I'm not gonna. Oh boy, I actually mentioned it, but I'm not gonna panic because I'm not feverish. I haven't lost sense of taste or anything weird like that. It's just somewhere between sick and not sick. Might be from lack of sleep. Might be seasonal. Might be some weird seasonal thing because I get that from time to time. Even as late in the season as this, there's been times where I've had some weird nasal congestion thing for over a month, it feels like, and it's awful, but I live through it. We're human beings, we tend to be a lot stronger than we always assume right at the gate. Yeah. Besides that minor thing, things are doing particularly well. I'm still involved with my friends, playing Magic, playing Minecraft, silly things like that, and but as of right now, I am in this state of reflection. I'm looking through my monthly schedule to see more and more how I could definitely start. Thank you, Apple. Thank you for the news update. I'm looking for ways I can maybe pencil in times to maybe sit and think about the comic, work on that. Open mics have been a thing. I've slowed down on that the last couple months just because of financial things. I've been racking up debt, and I'm looking to pay that off and not be in such dire straits. So part of that is, yes, not surrendering myself continually to the nightlife, which is starting to slowly come back, and I'm all for it when I can afford it. when I can better afford it. I'm back on Twitter. I'll put my handle down in the description. I'm also on this platform called Locals. I'll even throw in the joke, no, Locals is not a dating site or an escort service site. It's this newfangled thing. I'm going to be posting content on there. I might as well post this video on Locals as well, along with other things. It's an awesome thing because it's kind of like YouTube and Facebook in the same thing, and I can build a following and I can build content. It's not just videos, not just written stuff or images. I can put all three of those things on Locals. So it seems to be a very, very welcoming, as well as a very, it's got legs, I think. So I'm on Locals. I'll put a link in the description there as well. I look forward to future content as it comes. Of course, I'm not making any promises other than I will make content. So please, by all means, continue watching my content, continue following. I'll probably put more further effort into uploading content, and we'll see how things go moving forward as far as building a further following, producing better content, producing more content. As we'll see where this thing goes. Music, comics, an occasional vlog where I sit down and discuss things that are going on in my head and in terms of what's going on around. Especially on YouTube, I'm going to avoid certain subjects because it's become more clear that certain opinions are not welcome on YouTube, and I don't care to feed that. That's been another thought of mine. My future on YouTube, I'm going to stay on this platform as long as I can. I just know, I mean, there was an instance where I put up a little preview of my comic, and for whatever reason, it got flagged, and it got taken down temporarily. I fought it, and almost like within the hour, if not within a half hour or so, it was immediately re-uploaded, and there was no further problems. I don't think the channel has any standing strikes as of right now, but in retrospect, this completely harmless video that I don't think it certainly was not intended to harm anybody. Yet it still got that strike. So I've got to consider, like, is this going to happen at all more often? And will the next time this issue comes up, will I be able to just as easily, refute it and succeed? So from the people that I follow closely on YouTube, this subject always comes up of whether or not to stay on YouTube, and it's always the same every time. Yep, I'll keep on going with YouTube as long as I can, but I'm gonna try looking for more venues to post my content in, because it's all up in the air, like what's going to happen to different channels for different reasons, whether or not there's even a reason at all. I need to take more walks. I've been biking here and there. Might have even been losing a little bit of weight. Here and there. At the very least, I know I dropped about 5 pounds the month before, and the next time I weighed in, I had apparently stayed at that exact weight. I was that exact weight the next month, so I've been making a little bit of progress there. That stuff keeps coming up in the major news networks, and that's always been the case. For as long as I've been alive, that's been the case. So there's always hope. You can always hope. That's something I tend to say a lot. I've made it a point to make that my catchphrase, my IRL catchphrase is, you can always hope, and you can. And a lot of times, it's a coin. You could see it as a coin flip. You could see it as being naive. You could see it however you feel. But I think having some sliver of hope, it's one of those things that keep you from doing something stupid. I don't think having a negative opinion all the time. I really do think it's a myth that if you stay negative and pessimistic all the time, if you do that all the time, no, I do think you're missing opportunities to maybe see things from a different perspective. And the same can be said of being always hopeful, but nevertheless, you can always hope. There's always some small speck of hope in any situation. Guaranteed, you're probably not going to find it on YouTube. If you do, though, I wouldn't squash it. And maybe maybe I'm just defeating the purpose of this video by saying that, but still, there's always a reason to hope. And I guess instead of questioning if there's hope, a better question is, what should I put hope in? You know? Instead of looking all the time for that thing to be negative about, instead of looking for that thing to be all crazed and pessimistic about, it's healthier. It is healthier to look for things that you can do in your immediate situation that can make things better in whatever way that you can. And I'm always surprised. I'm always surprised when I just take a moment to stop and think, well, what if I did this instead? Case in point, the comic book. What if I actually did take some advice from the people that I follow very closely now and are my unofficial mentors in the realm of comics and life in general. Things to think about. I already see that I'm past 17 minutes here, so I'm well past. Well, I mean, when I edit this down, it probably won't be 17 minutes long, hopefully. But I hope things are well with all my few followers and watchers. I hope everything is well with the world, in spite of how it's not. You can always hope. You can always hope. So hope, damn it. Anyway, thanks for stopping by on a long, winding road. I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you.